Okay, the plan is to get a pumpkin. What I noticed is that people, they have their pumpkins for Halloween, and it's raining, so I have to keep the thing in my coat. I don't know how this is gonna go. Probably can't see anything, but the thing is, pumpkins are edible, but they get thrown out after Halloween, and that's no good. So what I'm doing right now is I'm looking for a pumpkin. Unfortunately, I don't like to stay up late. It's only like 11, so people aren't necessarily asleep yet. So we might have a problem. But I'm hoping... Actually, over here, there's a whole bunch of garbage. Don't know if you can see it. But I'll come back and look at that tomorrow. I'm not up to that right now. Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh, it's raining a lot now. But you can probably see, those are the pumpkins. I'm just going to take one. Ooh. Okay. I'm going to have to put the camera in my pocket. I don't know how that's going to go. Hopefully it doesn't cut off, but I'll try. Let's see. I guess the inner pocket. Or no, outer pocket so you can get some sound. Alright, I'll try this now. Alright. Just kind of wanted to go outside. Okay, here's the pumpkin. This one's good because it's not carved, and I was a little bit worried. Because if they're carved and sitting outside for a while, they're not going to be so good. But this one's got a little face on it. Should be okay. They had 2 pumpkins, so it'll be okay if they're down to 1. But so the end goal of getting this pumpkin was to make pumpkin muffins. First, though, you have to make the pumpkin puree. And so that's a thing in and of itself. I don't really know. I haven't carved pumpkins in a while, but it's basically the same thing. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, this is a pretty big pumpkin. I didn't select due to size or anything else, really. It was more accessibility and not having been previously carved. But this one's going to be a real challenge to do what you have to do to get the puree stuff. I don't know if I'm bad at this or if this is just the way it is. You can see, by the way, this tattooed pumpkin cost $10. I guess it's a fair price for the tattooed pumpkin. I don't know what a regular pumpkin costs, but I imagine the tattoo adds at least $1 of added value. If I had 2 hands, I might be able to just do a continuous slicing, but it'd be tough. Anyway, this is good enough. Okay, so this is just like regular carving pumpkins. This isn't even really a cooking show right now. It's just a jack-o'-lantern show. So at some point I want to collect the shells because I'd like to roast them. I don't remember liking roasted shells, but I'd feel bad throwing them out. And I haven't tasted them in like 10 years, so it's worth a try. I guess... Oh man, everything... I've been delayed on cleaning the kitchen Okay, well, anyway, I'll just collect stuff in here. I'll do the seeds at a different time because there's only so much I can do. Alright, so that's the inside of the pumpkin. That has to be cleared. Same as if it was a jack-o'-lantern. Oh, I don't want to get my sleeves dirty. Okay. Yeah, this is just straight up it's Halloween stuff. This isn't even cooking. It's the day after Halloween now, so it's a little late for this kind of stuff. I haven't done this in years. Oops. But yeah, this is cooking and non-cooking. You gotta do this to the pumpkin. The stringy stuff just has no place in anything. I actually thought when I was first thinking about pumpkin-based recipes, I was worried about using a jack-o'-lantern because I imagined the puree stuff was this gooey stuff that I'm taking out, and I was worried without it, it would be useless that you didn't cook the outer part, but it turns out it's basically like cantaloupe. You're supposed to eat the outer part, and this inner stuff is just not edible, I guess. If you actually look in the pumpkin, it's pretty obvious it's not nearly enough of this to make a puree, but I hadn't gotten up close with a pumpkin in a while. So this takes a while. It's a big pumpkin, and I don't know if they price them based on size. If I was really curious, I'd go back and take those people's other pumpkin to see how much that one cost, because I think the other one was smaller. If in a few days, or actually if the next time the garbage is set out, if I see pumpkins just sitting by the garbage, I'll probably get another one. But it's also dependent on how well this recipe goes. Now there's a bunch that are stuck to the sides that, because my hand's all slippery, I don't really know how you're supposed to get them off. I guess you could cut them, but I don't know how. I guess you gotta get all of them. I mean, when I'm doing cantaloupe, I always make sure I get all of the mushy stuff out, because I really hate eating it. So I guess I gotta be just as a perfectionist with the pumpkin equivalent. Should get a better view. Okay, I'm gonna try. This is not first person. I'm holding it next to, I guess, left of my head and pointed down a little. You can probably tell without me telling you. This might give me a better shot. I have no clue because I can't look through the camera at all now. But I mean, I might as well use this time to experiment a little because it's pretty repetitive. Also, at some point, I do have to cut this. It might be easier to get some of this last stuff out. There's still a lot in there. Okay. But I might want to just cut it and do the rest after it's cut open. Damn it, I think I got pumpkin on here. I gotta take my usual... Oh, I can't take it off though, because then the sleeve will go right over my arm. Oh man. Alright, I'll just pull it. Okay. It's way up now. It's dumb, you don't want to get pumpkin on a family sweater. Although it's the black and white and orange might look good. Yeah, Halloween sweater. But that's nonsense. When I was watching A Brief Encounter, I really liked how they used the word nonsense. And I didn't resolve to use it more or anything, but if the chance comes up, I will try and incorporate it into my speech. Anyway, I don't want to spend 10 minutes on this, so we're going to cut out for now. It's almost done. The next thing you're supposed to do is peel it. Now, I don't know if it's supposed to be... if you can just use a potato peeler, because it's not super thick. It's just... potatoes are pretty wimpy compared to this. This is also huge. So this might be a really foolish strategy. Oh man. Should have done a smaller one of these guys, because this is going to take forever. It's rounded in such a way that the blade doesn't catch on unless you go side to side. Oh, there we go, that's better. Yeah, and I have to take the price tag off. Oh man, because yeah, it's too thin to really knife it. Knife it is not really a word. And it gets these odd angles where it's tough to get in there, and I don't want to get it all up in there. I have to change this up a little bit. When you're preparing a pumpkin, it's good to remember that it's a gigantic thing, and it's not going to be easy. It seems like, oh, pumpkin pie is traditional food or whatever, so it should be a relatively simple recipe. Maybe it is, and I just don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Might not be worth it if I have to peel the entire thing. Because when I was reading in the recipe, usually if something's going to be like troublesome, the least they could do is warn you and say, it may take like an hour to peel it. But I don't remember the prep time, but it was probably like a half hour or something, which is going to be the prep time without the peeling, as far as things go here. Prep time might just be something that's always off. Like, it's just, that's how it is. I wish it would be accurate, though. Like, Google Maps is accurate when you're talking about how far it's going to, or how long it's going to take you to go wherever you're going. Prep time ought to at least be accurate, or at least say, this is, if you know what you're doing. They should have, like, a first-time speed for, the first-timers out there, so it's not even a derogatory term, it's just beginner, not, incompetent. I wish I could just slash at it. That would be the most satisfying way to do it, but if I try doing that, it doesn't work. I can't, these are all tiny little bits too, I'm not even getting it really, and it's just one little bit, so I'm gonna have to take a break here, and maybe if I change my strategy or something, I'll come back, but if from here on out it's just this kind of drudgery, then there's no sense in filming all of it, although if I get good at it. But that's okay, I'll just take a... So after struggling a little bit more, I realized it's because what's not working here is when you put it like this, I mean, you can see the two edges touch because the curvature isn't strong enough to actually get the middle part into the blade, and so that's why it looks like that. But if you can do it like that, where you have part of it down, it'll work. So I realized it'll probably make a lot of sense to start cutting into pieces now, which I've started to do. Oh man, you really have to have like another hand holding the pumpkin down. I guess I can see why a sword type object would come in handy with a larger kind of a fruit. Because you really need a lot of force to get it down without being able to hold it. You need it to be sharp. Oops. I started a cut over here, I didn't finish it. Oops. Whoa! Okay. So here we go, we got the pumpkin open. So now all that's I have to get cleared out at some point. But I'm just gonna set this one aside, and I'll cut this one to something a bit smaller. I mean, it's all just going to get boiled eventually, so it doesn't really matter what shape it gets cut into, as long as it's just put into smaller pieces. I'm not usually so erratic with knives, it's just I don't really know how else to cut it. And I do get a kind of kick out of stabbing at it like this. A while ago, actually, when I had, like, Age of Empires, or... I think that was what it was called, Age of Empires, and I played it on the computer all the time. I would when I went outside to rake, I would swing the rake around like a two-handed swordsman or whatever. And I got a kick out of that. I haven't done that in a while, but I'm approaching it with my cutting style here. Although I don't really have anything to base it off of because I haven't watched anyone do anything with a sword lately. So I'm just kind of guessing. I'll just put this one aside. Okay. So now the idea is, it should be a lot easier to peel. Let's see. Oh, I'm not going to be able to... Okay, now because it's so little, I have to hold it. So, I'll just tripod this for now. Let's see. See it? No. Okay, gotta need something smaller. I hesitate to use such small tripods because they don't balance so well. But, okay, so yeah, there you go, look. As long as you have that edge that you can slice along, it'll be good. This is still far too big though, because now you get the same issue when you try and do the non-edge part. Yeah, but look, that's perfect. That's what you want. It looks like an orange peel, it's so big. But yeah, alright, so I think strips is then going to be the way to do it. That's my on-the-go figuring it out. I don't know if there's more widely accepted strategies here for peeling, but yeah, that's, you need that. There we go. Yeah, so I should have given up a long time ago. Yeah, alright, so it's going to be a lot of this. I'll just maybe finish this piece, or not even finish it. Do one more strip, I guess. And then, actually what I should have done is gotten, or actually you can probably just peel this out too. Just the leftover crap. Yeah, look, it's a little bit mucked up, but this is a sort of viable strategy. Yeah, you want to do this before the pieces get too small, because it'll be a pain in the ass. It's already a bit of a pain in the ass. I don't know how vital it is to keep the stringy bits out, because you blend it all together at the end anyway. So a little bit shouldn't have whipped them out of the frame. The problem with, because usually when you're doing first-person filming, the camera just kind of follows you because it's just instinctual. You hold it in front of you and you keep on facing what you're doing. When it's on a tripod, you can just forget about it, which is what I've done. What I'm doing right now isn't interesting, so you can keep looking at the hot sauce that it's currently shooting. I'll turn it off in a few seconds though, because it's not a whole lot to watch right now. I was getting write errors on the other card, so I switched in the one that's in now. I don't know if anything on there is saved. Anyway, I guess the situation's kind of self-explanatory. But so I'm boiling the water to just start cooking those. And then, yeah, what I was going to do is I was going to start just showing the general way things have been going here. Oh, this is the too high one. Yeah. Actually, if I just move it farther back, it'll be like it shrunk. Perfect. Okay. But yeah, so I'm just slicing these things. And then I realized the peeler is really good at getting out this stuff, because it just gets mucked up in the peeler and it comes right out. That was a really small piece though, so you didn't really see what it looks like properly. Because I cut so erratically, sometimes you get little wayward slices like this. It's not a whole lot you can do at this point. Oh yeah, so this one also has to be chopped. Easy enough. But here you get, I try to cut them so that they're about the width of this, so that I can just peel really easily. Doesn't take too long, but it's hard to do it. I don't know if it's hard to do it if I'm just not able to do it in a complete fashion, so you're not doing all those extra ones. And then, of course, you got to get this junk out of it. And so the idea here is that this takes an extremely long time. I started the recipe about an hour ago, and I'm only through maybe half the pumpkin. I'm really hoping that I get a lot of pumpkin puree out of this, because you only need however much for the recipe. And I don't know exactly how much I'm going to get out of this, but I'm hoping I have enough for like 5 pumpkin recipes at least. This is a lot of work, and I'd like for it to be worth more than one batch of muffins, which is all I really set out to do here tonight, although it's clear I'm not going to be able to do all of it now. I don't know actually how much I'm going to do tonight, because I was planning on doing other things. I don't like to cook too much at night. It's really not a nighttime activity. But I mean, this is Halloween cooking, so it's a bit more appropriate for night relative to pasta or whatever. Yeah, so the key here is this is too much width, but if you cut it again, you should get 2 bits that are, well, if you cut it straight, what I just did, you can ostensibly get 2 things that are about the same width as the peeler. Let's see. Alright, time to boil. So this is going to be the first batch of these things that gets boiled. It's supposed to be 20-something minutes. I'm just going to put in, oh Jesus, however many of them will fit in here. Oh God. I don't know how you're supposed to do this. Obviously, this isn't the best. They float, that's a bit annoying. If I put enough in, they'll just push each other down. There's only a limited amount of surface area here. Anyway, it's going to take multiple potfuls before I got this whole pumpkin boiled. I think you can freeze the puree, so it makes sense to do it all at once. It's just terribly inconvenient. I mean, it's convenient, it's just a terribly long process. It's hard to tell if this is full now because I can pick up the camera again. I don't know if I can fit more in, because each time I put them in, they just force the ones in down a little bit more, but I don't want the ones at the top to not get any water. Let's see. Go in there. Actually, the water's at the top, that's how I can tell. Alright, so I don't remember how many minutes it said. But I'm going to turn this off. Yeah, okay, 25 minutes. So, alright, so done for now. I forgot to film the first time I started boiling it because the bowl was getting too full. That's the first batch. The second batch is done now. So, thought I would film taking it out, because that's an important part of the overall thing. I don't know if it's as done as the other one is, though. No, I'd say it's about the same. Okay, good. So you just kind of let the water out, and then you have to have somewhere to put it. And it's just saying that it's actually done now. Whoops. It's tough because there's a whole lot in here, and you want to do it relatively quickly because it's now been 2 hours since I started this recipe. And I still have a little bit more pumpkin to go through. And, well, I still haven't even mushed it yet. Right now it's just a matter of figuring out what I'm going to only have time for tomorrow. And possibly even Monday. Oh, jeez. Because I'm going to be baking a lot on Monday. Today's Saturday, by the way, not that there's any way of knowing that without me telling. Okay, so these things are neat. They come out, and pumpkins really are just a big sort of weird squash. They're not really any different. They're not especially sweet. I think the thing with pumpkin is that it's all the other flavors that go with it, like the cloves and the cinnamon or whatever, that actually make up like 75% of what is considered pumpkin flavor. Also, the pumpkins they sell for Halloween aren't flavorful, as I've read. But, I don't know. It's a lot of something, though. And then you just have to give it a little more water to make up for whatever's lost. And then put in the next batch, and I'm almost done. And I'll come back soon. I started trying to clean up. Also, I think all the counter space is used right now. It's just nowhere left. But anyway, I started mashing this, and I saw that it's very watery. This is a very fractured video. I don't know what to film. So I'm just draining some water right now. You can't see it. Okay, I just cut out while I was pouring the water. I don't know exactly how much liquid is supposed to be left, but yeah, I'll have to look that up. So this is probably more than enough pumpkin just in here, and there's a lot more to go. So I'm gonna have to freeze a lot of this. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna store it. That's the real question right now. How to store it. It's actually pretty easy to mash. I was afraid I'd have to use the food processor, which is difficult, and I'd have to clean it. Okay, but let's see. This is quite a bit. We're looking at what are the cups out here? Between 3 and 4, 3.5 cups. The recipe called for 1. Yeah, 1 cup. Okay, well, so I have to freeze a bunch of it. I don't know where I'm going to put it all. It's the real issue. I guess everything I bake from now on has to include pumpkin. Which is okay, really. But for now, oh man, you know what? I'm gonna start storing. Whoops. See if it pours. No. Well. Oop. Alright, cool, it pours. Alright, good. It's hot though, I want to let it cool off. I don't want hot stuff in here. Well, let's see. This stuff needs to get mashed also. I'll do that. I can't possibly film everything. You miss the experience of it being this marathon, because this is going to be just the same length as any other video. But you don't need to see me mashing it again.